Hello, my name is Paula Carlin and I'm the Advisor of Studies for the Foundation degree. This session today is for those students who are currently undertaking a foundation degree within a regional college in Northern Ireland. As you know, we have a very successful foundation degree programme throughout the regional colleges right across Northern Ireland. And my job as your Advisor of Studies is to support you during your foundation degree and also to help guide and advise you as you progress onto your BA in Stranmillis. So transitions are important, and certainly good transitions help students feel secure, they feel safe and they feel ready to progress in their studies. So it's really important as your Advisor of Studies that I help you make that transition from your foundation degree on to your BA in Early Childhood Studies. Now, you may be thinking at this stage of your studies about your next stages. You might be thinking that you may want to finish and to end your foundation degree and seek employment, and that's absolutely fine. But for other students, they may be contemplating the possibility of moving on to their studies to pick up their BA in Early Childhood Studies. So today's session is about that. It's about giving you information to help you make that decision that is right for you. So currently, when we think about articulation, we have two options. Those students undertaking their foundation degree within their regional college can choose to articulate into our full-time pathway or into our part-time pathway. Our full-time pathway on the BA is 3 years. And once you have successfully completed your foundation degree, you can articulate directly onto the BA and you will arrive in the BA in year 2. For those students who wish to articulate into the part-time pathway, once they complete their foundation degree, they will articulate into the part-time pathway year 2, semester 2. Now, our administrative officer will be sending you all a letter shortly, and that letter will be asking you to select your preference. At this stage, it's an indicator to tell us the pathway that you're thinking about. Either you want to finish your foundation degree and seek employment, or that you want to move into the full-time or the part-time pathway. So I just want to outline the process around that. Students who wish to come on to the full-time pathway, it's important for you to know that those places on the full-time pathway are identified on achievement basis. That means that those students who have achieved the highest level in their foundation degree can articulate on to our BA full-time. Our full-time places on the BA are capped. So we have approximately 20 full-time places that we can offer you. So if you wish to move on and progress onto the full-time pathway, it's really important that you maintain those high achievement levels. Our numbers in our part-time pathway are not capped. Therefore, if you are unsuccessful in moving into the full-time pathway, we hope that we can offer you a place then in our part-time pathway. It's important to note that those places are not allocated until the August Board of Examiners. So if you're thinking about moving on to the BA, either full or part-time, we have to ask you to be patient. We need to wait until the Board of Examiners meet around the August time. And once they meet and final classification scores are allocated, we can then see from that score who wants to go to the full-time, who wishes to go to the part-time, and then we can begin to look at those achievement levels. And like I said, we're taking those who have most successfully achieved in terms of their foundation degree, and then we'll work right through the classifications to offer the 20 places that we can allocate. So when we look at our full-time and our part-time pathway, it's important for you to get a feel of what that might look like. So our full-time pathway, like I said, you'll move into year 2 of your studies. This is a very challenging and dynamic course. and you will be expected to engage in study 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. There will also be a 3-week block in semester 1 and semester 2 when you'll be able to reflect on practice. Semester 1, students attend placement in a nursery school, and semester 2, students will experience placement in a primary school. Our part-time pathway is slightly different. Our part-time students tend to be already employed in the field of early years, and they undergo their studies alongside their employment. The timetable as it stands is either 2 evenings per week, 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, or 1 evening per week, 4 to 8. We call that our long, thin evening. And your timetable will be down to a range of different things in terms of tutor commitments, etc. But it will either be 2 days, 4 to 6, or 1 day, 4 to 8. So there'll be a mixed pattern throughout your BA degree studies. If there are some of you who are not currently employed in the early years sector, that's okay, but it's really important that you gain some voluntary experience. There's an expectation that whilst you're studying your degree on a part-time basis, that you will either be employed or you will seek your own voluntary experiences working with children within birth to 8 years. So like I've said, the BA, just like your foundation degree, is a challenging course. It's challenging and it requires some independent work. I speak to our direct entry students, which we fondly call those students who have articulated on from their foundation degree into their BA, and we call you direct entry students just during that period of settling in. And I work alongside those direct entry students, and I ask for information about how they're settling in, and I can provide some support to help students settle in. But those students who articulate in, our direct entry students, they find that because they're already operating at a level 2 in their foundation degree, they feel that once they come on to their BA, that it's a very consistent approach, that there's a real alignment to their current study within their foundation degree, and therefore they're finding that transition relatively seamless. Whenever you're engaged in your assignments, of course, you have your aims and aspirations, you have your main essay title, and you have your reflection section. Just so you know, when you come on to your BA, it's exactly the same. We have a consistent approach. We know where you're coming from as a foundation degree student, and we offer a very, very similar system in terms of assessment. So it should feel familiar to you, and you should feel very much fit and up for the challenge of the BA. But like I've said, independent working is really important. In your foundation degree, you may well get to know your tutors, greatly. Perhaps there's 10 in your class, maybe 12 students in your class. What students do find when they directly come in from their foundation degree is the class sizes are much bigger. There's maybe 45 people in their part-time class or 80 students in the full-time class. And that can be a little bit intimidating for some students. Similarly, you won't get to know your tutor perhaps just as well as you did within your regional college. That said, there is still support here for you if and when you need it. There's a range of support strategies that are there to support students who directly enter to the BA from their foundation degree. So let's look at the direct entry support programme that we have in place for you. Like I've said, as the Advisor of Studies for the foundation degree, I know you well. I know your names on paper, and I also work closely with your tutors. When you come into your BA, I also operate as your direct entry tutor. So I'm still the key person that you will make contact with to help you settle in during that transition period. So there's a couple of steps that it's important that you engage in that helps you feel well settled onto your BA. And first and foremost, we have a compulsory induction programme. That's a really important session where you come along and you get to know the building, you get to know where everything is, you get to know the tutors, you get to know individuals, and of course you get to know your classmates. But there's another range of support strategies that we put in place, particularly for direct entry students. We have a range of support sessions in terms of academic writing, support sessions in terms of how to access online journals through the library. We also offer a PDP tutorial, which is small group tutorials that you will work with a tutor and a small group, and you will meet with that PDP tutor 4 times throughout the year as a full-time student. We also have an advisor of studies. That person in your year 2 is Karen Hannah, and if you have any support needs or you need to get some guidance, Karen Hannah is a very important link person for you too. We have other ongoing support services for our direct entry students, including study skills sessions. There's additional library support. We also have a communication skills centre who you can liaise with, and you can submit work to, and you can get some guidance in terms of written expression, etc., just to make sure that your work is keeping up to that academic level of degree work. We also have student support services, and that's perhaps you may be a student who has some learning difficulties, you may be a student who has dyslexia. There are support mechanisms in place for you, and that you will make contact with the Student Support Centre, and I will direct you to that as your direct entry tutor. I suppose perhaps some students are still deciding whether they want to move on to their BA, and I guess I just want to point out that our ECS graduates are highly sought after. Our ECS graduates find employment in their chosen career field. We have graduates in a range of sectors across Northern Ireland, and that includes the voluntary sector, the statutory sector, and the private sector. If you choose to come on to your BA degree and you graduate, you'll expect to find employment in management, perhaps as Sure Start leaders, perhaps as parenting officers within Barnardo's, project coordinators in organisations such as MenCap, helpline or trainers within Parenting NI, or early years specialists with the early years organisation. For other students, they may wish to pursue additional qualifications following their BA. Many of our students go on to undertake a PGCE. Some go on to do a Master's in Social Work or a Master's in Play Therapy. So there are a range of very, very interesting and successful options for you if you choose to either pursue a career or, again, to uptake further training after your BA. So I've given you a bit of information about the BA and about what to expect if you're considering coming on to the BA from your foundation degree. You may still have lots of questions, so please feel free to make contact with me as your advisor of studies and direct entry tutor. I would encourage any student to send an email or to maybe arrange a telephone call, and I'm happy to speak to any student if they do have any questions in making that decision about what their next steps are going to be. So please make contact with me. I would very much welcome that. And I just want to say thank you very much for listening to our talk today.